Didn't mean to, but sorry. Seriously though, if you guys just work really hard, doesn't matter where you learn it, take advantage of the Academic Resource Center too. You have been, right? You mentioned that in the other class too. Do that. You get good people working over there. Then have we scheduled reviews for finals week for this class?
There's some like on the review schedule.
Do I have some on the review schedule for the final?
You have two of them that says final on them.
Oh, okay.
I'll pull them up.
All right, for the final, that's fine. Okay, if I already did them, great. I was saying that study day, sometimes on the study day I'll do review sessions. If you want to, we will. Okay.
It says you have one on December 2nd and November 30th for the final.
Oh, okay. I guess maybe we're already okay. All right, good. I actually did it.
When is our final in this class?
Any of those 3 times that I have
So
finals.
the 4th.
Friday the 4th. Let's see, I don't know when it is for, well, for 01, it's Wednesday, December 9th. You guys are 02 if you're officially in this class. It's Friday, December 4th. Do not do it then. Don't do it. Or Monday, December 7th. The way I would decide between Monday the 7th from 3 to 6 p.m., which is probably when my intermediate final is, so we're in this room, we have all kinds of room. Everybody can fit in here at one time. Monday 12 to 7 is the latest one you can do, 3 to 6 p.m. Friday, December 4th is no good. Wednesday, December 9th, no, Wednesday, December 9th is the latest one. Do it then, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. But if you've got 2 or 3 finals on Wednesday, you're welcome to do it on Monday. Does that make sense?
Oh, so we can do it anytime?
I don't care. You can do it any of those 3. They're listed at the bottom of your syllabus.
Okay.
You can do it any one of those 3. I don't care. Okay? I'm giving everybody the same final. Don't share information. Right? Don't direct somebody else's study. Right? And hurt your own grade. Plus, it's unethical, right? So 2 reasons not to. Unethical and would hurt maybe hurt you too. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, any of those times are just fine. And whenever you're done studying, you can take it, right? But don't stop studying until you have to. Kind of deal.
How can we see the grades for our finals?
If after I get it graded, well, you get the grades out to you pretty quickly, right, guys? It's like within a week or something after the end.
Within like 10 days.
Is it 10 days? But if you email me, I'll send you your, as soon as I'm done grading it, I'll send you your grade on the final and your grade for the class. And, you'll have it before if you want. Okay. And if you're worried about it or if you're excited about it or whatever. So, worried is not the right word. It's just anxious to know. Okay, let's do number 5. Match these items with the definitions. This isn't bad, is it? Don't you hope I ask you something like this? Stock that may, at the option of the holder, be turned in for another security. So what you could do is you could take your preferred stock and turn it in for common stock, maybe. Right? That kind of thing. What's that? You can convert it. I bet it's convertible stock. This is just a chapter. Right? Stock that has been issued, repurchased, and held by the corporation. Now you know what is it? Treasury stock, absolutely. Stock that has specified rights over common stock. Kind of preferred stock. Oh, I'm so bored. This is exciting. Okay, anyway, the difference between issue price and par value. Issue and par value. I paid more than the par. I record the stock at par or stated value, and the difference is called paid in capital in excess of par, or additional paid in capital, or something like that. Yeah, capital in excess of par. Very good. The difference between total shares issued and total shares outstanding must be the ones that I bought back, which are called treasury stock. Okay. Geez, it's treasury stock twice. How about that? Okay. Anyway, stock on which dividends in arrears must be paid prior to any current dividends. Dividends in arrears must be paid. Yeah, what's that? Cumulative stock. Got it. Cumulative preferred stock. Good. Okay. Now, some of these problems might look different than what we had on the quiz, but they're really basically the same thing. Happy corporation, don't ever let the way a problem is worded drive your decision making, right? You take control of the problem, don't let it control you. Happy corporation has the following capital stock outstanding. What does that mean? They issued it and have not bought it back, right? It's outstanding, okay? Common stock, $1 common stock, 500,000 shares. What's the balance of the common stock account? So you usually put them in there at par. $500,000, right guys? Dollar a share, 500,000 shares. 7% preferred stock, par 100, okay? 2,000 shares cumulative with 2 years in arrears, excluding the current year. And then, so what's going to be on that stock? It's 7% preferred stock, par is $100. How much is the dividend every year per share? Well, what is it every year per share though? 7% of $100, right? For one share is $7. 2 years in arrears plus the current year, what would that be? 21 bucks on each share? Is that right? Everybody good? And then it's 2,000 shares? 2,000 times 21? $42,000, is that what it is? Yeah. Or you could say, well, it's $100 par times 2,000 shares is $200,000 times 7% is 14,000 times 3 years, right? 2 years in arrears in the current year. What do you get? 42,000. Everybody see it? There's 42,000 in dividends there. A cash dividend of 160 was declared and paid near the end of the current year. Oh, well. What do the preferred shareholders get? What's their dividend? We're going to do the preferred stock, common stock, total. Okay? And we'll do it in total and per share. That's the way to do it, probably. Okay? So what do we got? Preferred stock are going to get the first what? $42,000. Did everybody stay with me on that? $7 per share. Do it again?
Yeah. The 42.
This time, listen. I'm kidding, Joe. Okay. $100 par, 7% per year, right? For their dividend is $7 per share. Are we right? Times 2,000 shares. So for each year, this is the preferred stock, right? So for each year, they're going to get $14,000, right? Total per year. Got it? Okay. But how many years have not been paid? 2 in arrears, right? So, and in the current year. So we'll take that times 3 years. That making sense? So we have 28,000 in arrears plus the 14,000 for the current year. We good?
Yep.
$42,000. That's what the preferred shareholders got. Got it? And we do theirs first, okay? What's the total dividend? So it says, is the following stock outstanding? And, oh, by the way, why am I doing this dividends in arrears? It's cumulative, right? It's cumulative. If it was not cumulative, you wouldn't have that, would you? Okay. So how much is left then for the common shareholders? Everything else, huh? So how much is that? 118? Man, this one was easy. You know what you're doing. Computationally not a problem, huh? What is it per share? If I asked for that. I didn't, but what if I did? $21 here, right? $7 3 times, right? 42,000 divided by 2,000 shares, of course. Okay. Common stock would be 118,000 divided by 50,000 shares. What would that? Or 500,000 shares. That's how much common stock there is, right, everybody? 500,000 into 118 is how much per share?
24 cents.
23.
24
cents. Ta-da. Got it? So then let's do the second one. It says, oh, what if it's non-cumulative? Oh, well, if it's non-cumulative, what are you going to do? They don't get 3 years. What do they get?
1 year.
Just the current year. They get the first 14 and everything else goes common, right? Okay, so here we go. Preferred stock, total, do per share. I might ask for per share. I don't know. I don't know what I'll ask for. Haven't written it yet. Never taken it till when?
Last day.
No, the test. Monday.
Oh, is that
I guess I better do it this weekend then. Okay. All right. So total still 160. First, the preferred shareholders get theirs, but it's non-cumulative, so what do they get? Only the 7,000, right? Whoops, only the 14,000. 2,000 shares for $7 a share. What's left for the preferred shareholders? That's only $7 per share, of course. Is that 146? If you were to divide that by the 500,000 shares, what would you get per share?
30 cents.
30 cents per share. Ta-da. Okay. Want me to change the problem so it has some participation in it? Maybe we'll do that in the review session. Huh? Do it now. Do it now because we got it sitting in front of us. Yeah, we can use this example. That's good. Okay, let's do it now. Let's change it to be. We'll have it be cumulative, preferred, but we'll add participation. Okay? So we use exactly the same problem. But let's make the stock be come on, I'm going to do this. What am I doing wrong? Do that. Somehow I confuse this thing.
You trying to extend the page?
I'm trying to get another page. I'm going to extend it. It'll let me do that, but then I'm stuck on one page for the whole class. It's not the end of the world, really. Right? Doesn't want to give me another page, does it? Fine, don't give me another page. All right, so let's use exactly the same problem. And let's say what we have is cumulative participating preferred. Now what's going to happen here? First, preferred gets their dividends in arrears plus the current year, right? Second, common shareholders would get a matching dividend of some kind, whatever the agreement says, right? Stock agreement says. And then they'd share after that. And so let's say what we've got is, it's still the 7%, right? We'll use exactly the same stuff. 7% on 2,000 shares and $100 par and all that, okay? And let's still say that it's 160,000, right? Dividend declared. But let's say that the participation for the common shareholders, how many shares did we have? 500,000 shares. Let's say their participation is 10 cents per share. So they get a 10-cent matching dividend. Everybody good? Yes, sir.
Participating again.
Participating means that after the preferred shareholders get their dividends, common get a matching dividend. And then after that, they participate in what's left. They share. So this is going to be better for the preferred shareholders. They're going to get more, right? They get to participate. So you have to pay more for this preferred stock if you bought it, right? And they entice you to buy. The common shareholders are issuing the preferred stock, really, right? They vote, okay? So they're enticing the preferred shareholders to buy by giving them more, right? More potential for profit. Same with convertible. The convertible preferred stock into common, why would you want that? If the company takes off and the common stock becomes real valuable, you convert the preferred into the common, right? Why would you rather have preferred stock? You get your dividend first. It's closer to debt, isn't it? Kind of. But you don't get your principal, and you're not guaranteed the dividend either, but you get yours before the common shareholders get theirs, right? So you have a preference. Okay, so this is kind of a mixed deal. Okay, anyway, so let's say it's a 10% matching dividend, and then they share, let's make it relative par values, okay? They're going to share based on the relative par values. Can you guys do that? Can you take this problem and do that? Okay, and we'll leave it at 160,000 dividend. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. See if you can pull that off. 160,000 dividend. Preferred stock was 2,000 shares. Common stock was 500,000 shares. Common stock was $1 par, wasn't it? This is $100 par. Need that. This is 7% dividend. and it's 2 years in arrears. Don't use the same.
For common stock?
Oh, whoops. The other way around. Sorry. Who cut? Good man. Thank you. And but the preferred stock is 2 years in arrears. Come on, Keith. Let's figure that one out real quick. Well, those of you who are thinking about being a CPA, how many of you have not talked about studying the rest of your life? Okay, we need to do that, and I have a packet of information, but I gave them all the way to the last class. I haven't given you that yet, but let's get together, sometime in the next couple of weeks, so we can schedule the rest of your life. And if you have, well, only until you graduate. Well, only until you start your first job. Yeah. Alan Deck refers to it as cradle to grave. He always tells students he's going to tell you who you're going to marry to, and that's not true. I'm not going to do that. I suggest don't get married to the rich. I want you to have children to take care of you in old age. So. You don't want to live long enough for your children. What do you got to answer? Nothing to it? What do you do first? Preferred shareholders get what first, guys? They are going to get that 42,000, right? 14,000 per year for the 3 years, right? Current year and the 2 in arrears. So that's the first thing. They get the first 14,000. What do you do second? What happens second?
Yeah.
Oh, 42, yeah. 14, I said it right, didn't I? 14,000 per year 3 times. Yeah. If it was non-cumulative, it'd be 14. And then they just lose those years that got passed. Right? That's the way it works. Okay? So 42,000. All right. Second, common shareholders get what? A matching dividend. How much is a matching dividend going to be? We said it was 10 cents per share, right? Matching dividend. How many shares are there? 500,000. What are you going to give them? They get the next 50,000. And then 10 cents for each of them. Everybody got it? And they don't get any for dividends or arrears. There's no such thing for them. Okay? Got it? What happens third? We share, don't we? On the relative par value. So everything that's left is going to get shared. So here we are. Here's the total. So far we've given away 92,000. Am I right? 42 plus 50. Okay. And what's the total dividend going to be? 160. So how much is left to give away? Give to the shareholders. 68,000. Everybody agree? They're going to participate on that 68,000. So the third thing is they both get some, right? Common shareholders are going to get some, and preferred shareholders are going to get some. How are we going to share it? Based on their relative par values. So how would you do the relative par values, everybody? What do we have for preferred stock? What do we have for common stock? Tell me their total par for each one. What's the par for the common stock? Well, for the preferred stock first, I guess. $100. $100. How many shares?
Yeah.
So what's the total? 2,000 times 100. What's that? 100 times 2 is 200. 200,000. Everybody agree? All I did was I took 2,000 shares times $100. Right? What's the total par for the common stock? It's $1 a share on 500,000 shares. It's 500,000. We got it made, don't we? This is easy. What's the total? 700,000. So how are we going to share it? 2/7 for the preferred shareholders, 5/7 for the common shareholders. You do percentages, of course. What is that, 28, what's 2 divided by 7? I used to have that memorized.
It's 0.285.
Okay, 28.5% here. And really, you should leave that in your calculator because it goes forever, doesn't it? Okay, and then 5/7 is the rest, about 71.5. That how that's going to go, guys?
Yeah.
What I'd do is I'd take the excess that we have. How much is it? 68,000 that we're going to share, right? Divide 68 by 7. Take it times 2, and you've got what you're going to give the preferred shareholders, right? And you don't have to worry about the decimal places. How much? What's 2/7 of 68,000?
19.
Even?
No, 19.42.
4,428.
No, that's after you multiply by.
Oh yeah. Did you multiply it by 2?
Yeah.
Okay, 19,428. Okay, and then do the same thing. Take 68,000, divide it by 7, and take it times 5. Okay? And then we'll make sure that we got the right numbers here. What's this one?
48,571.
48.
1,571.
Does it round up to 2?
1.4. I mean,
Oh, then this one probably rounded up to 9. Huh?
Yeah.
Probably that way. This one's 9, and that one's 1. Okay, something like that. And of course, you go to the pennies in real life.
yeah, I did round it to 9.
Okay, you got it? So what's 19,429 plus 48,571? Of course, it's the 68,000, right?
But you, 19,429.
Okay, what we did was we said we've got 68,000 that we're gonna share. See it there? Because we have 160 total dividends we're gonna do. We gave the preferred shareholders 42, right, for their dividends arrears in the current year. We gave a matching dividend of 50 to the common shareholders, so we have already given away 92,000. We haven't paid it, but we've allocated 92,000. So how much is left out of the 160 to now share? 68. So what we did was we're going to share it 2/7 for the preferred shareholders, 5/7 for the common shareholders. I divide 7 into 68, and what do I have? Whatever that number is, 1/7, right? If I take it times 2, I get 19,429. Got it? If I take that same number times 5, I get 48,571. And then make sure, add the 2 together. 19,429 plus 48,571 adds to 68, right? Make sure you did it right. Okay, so now all we have to do is add them up, and we know how much each one gets, don't we? So let's do that. What's 42 plus 19,429? 61,429? All right. This one's 98,571. When you're done, make sure, add the 2 together. 61,429 plus 98,571 is at 160? Yeah, just check your math. What is it per share? How many shares do we have on the common? Or on the preferred, rather? How many shares do we have on the preferred side? 2,000. So 2,000 divided into 61,429, what do they get? A little over $30. Come on, you guys. Somebody help me. 61,429 divided by 2,000, right? 2,000 shares.
That's $31.
What is it?
30.7.
$30.70 per share? Yes. Okay. What's 98,571 divided by 500,000? What do they get per share?
Around 20 cents.
You guys are too lazy. Okay, anyway, but we do it, okay? Got it? You know what you're doing, though. It's easy. Everybody good? And we'll extend the page a few times.
Was it 20 cents or something?
I don't know, was it 20 cents?
0.197.
Okay.
Actually, what you really do is you do 19.17 or 19.7.
It's 19 cents and a 7th of a cent.
Okay, 19.7 cents per share. And, of course, you care if how many shares you had, partial penny. So, yeah, it's okay. But I would have taken 20 cents, of course, on this. Okay, it was a real problem. There's not enough stairs to this, is there?
No.
Okay. Ceiling's falling. Luckily, we're not in Oregon. We would think it was. All the jackhammering going on over there. Surprised the place hasn't fallen in. They keep telling us, guys, when you come back in January, we're gonna be in our new building. No, I'm kidding you, we're not. We're gonna be down in Miles. It's gonna be ready for next fall, so theoretically. So it'll be nice. Right. I think we'll probably move in maybe the 20th day of class or something. Yeah.
We're still moving to Miles.
What's that?
They're moving you to Miles.
We're moving to Miles, yeah. So we'll be down where admissions is now, because they're moving into the basement, first level, whatever you want to call it, of the new building. So, which would be nice. Doesn't it make sense to have admissions and registrars and all that stuff right on the first level there, where you come in off the street? I think so. So some people in school business really were upset that we're not going to be on that level. I don't know, I'd rather be up a floor than the lowest level. Plus the second floor, or whatever you want to call it, first or second floor, goes out onto the quad, right?
Yeah.
So it's nicer, I think, for interspersement. So see if you're coming from campus, certainly. Okay, anyway, so what are we going to do here? They purchased a bunch of shares. Its own stuff. What do you call that?
What are we doing? 7?
7. Number 7. Keep up, you guys. Number 7, huh? So what do you think? I buy my own stock? What is it? Treasury stock. What are you going to debit? Treasury stock. It is a contra what? Contra equity. Yeah, good man. Got a debit balance. That's exactly what it is. What we do is we list all of our paid-in capital, common stock, preferred stock, additional paid-in capital on each, right? Get total paid-in capital. We list our retained earnings, right? And then way down at the bottom after the retained earnings, we subtract the treasury stock to get our equity. Got it? If you have any treasury stock. By the way, if you buy back treasury stock, is it outstanding anymore? Of course not. You've got it, right? So the difference between issued and outstanding is the treasury stock you bought back, huh? Common sense? Okay, anyway, so I bought it back for $10 a share. What do you want to debit treasury stock for? 10,000. Credit what? Cash, of course. It's that contra equity account. Very good. This is the first time they bought its own stock. That means there's no balance in additional paid capital. Got it? Okay, I'm not from treasury stock. There couldn't be. It's the first time we ever bought it. We've never sold any. Okay? So that's what that little clue was for. 400 are sold for $11. Okay. If 400 of these are sold for $11 and you bought them for 10, I guess you have an economic gain, huh? Do you call it a gain? You can't have a gain on selling your own stock, right? So what do? You have more additional paid-in capital. $1 a share, I guess, because you bought it for 10 and it reissued them for 11, right? You got the idea? So I got another $1 per share times 400 shares of additional paid-in capital. Okay? I call it additional paid-in capital on treasury stock. So how much cash did I get? 11 times 400 is 440, is it? 11 times 400 is 4,400. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. Okay? Credit treasury stock for how much? I bought them for 10. I'll retire them for 10, don't you think? Okay? So that'd be 4,000. And what's the other 400? Additional paid-in capital, right, on treasury stock, which is what kind of an account? It's another equity account, right? Goes with the other additional paid-in capital. Everybody good? And now I don't have that treasury stock anymore. I have less treasury stock. Okay, so then what happens? They sold the rest at $9, or 500 rather, at $9 a share, right? So I guess they're keeping 100 of them. Okay? For now. So it's $9 a share. What did they get for it? 9 times 500. 4,500. Everybody agree with that? How much treasury stock do I want to get rid of? Not 4,500. 5,000. Because I bought them for 10 a share. Come on, you guys. Treasury stock. I bought 10,000. That's 1,000 shares. I sold 400 of them. There's 4,000 coming out of here. Now I'm selling 500 of them. What do I want to take out of there? Just the 5,000, right? What I paid for them. Okay, so what's going to be left in treasury stock, of course? $1,000, which represents what? The 100 shares I still have, right? Everybody's staying with me, right? Okay. The hardest thing about this is just keeping your head into it, huh? There's more and more and more and more. Concentrating that long. Okay, what do we got, guys? What's my balance in additional paid-in capital in treasury stock? 400. What's the maximum amount I'm able to debit that account for? 400? Can't make it a negative additional paid-in capital. So the most I'm going to be able to take out of this is 400. Would you guys agree with that?
Mhm.
So debit additional paid-in capital and treasury stock. Additional paid-in capital on treasury stock for 400, and I need 100 more. And I don't know what to do with it. It can't be a loss on treasury stock, right? It's my stock. I can't have gains or losses. So what is it? I'm giving up some of my retained earnings to get these new investors. Debit retained earnings. Okay? I don't think they showed you that in the book, did they? You're welcome, a little extra bonus. Okay? This happens a lot. Okay. Everybody got it? And you'll do it in some later class.
So they're giving up extra retained earnings to like make up for the stock?
Yeah, because I'm reissuing the stock for less than I bought it back for, so after
So
all the
you're
additional
losing
paid capital's
money?
gone.
So you're not losing money at all? Or you're...
Well, I'm not really losing money, but some of the wealth of the shareholders is being transferred to this new shareholder in a way, right?
So that doesn't require journal entry then? Or does it?
Well, no, we made the journal entry to hit retained earnings, but
Okay.
it doesn't change net income.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just sort of plug to retained earnings kind of is the way you can think about it, right?
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. I don't know what else to do with it. Okay, guys? Else? Did I tell you when Audrey Gramling was our chair a couple years ago, she left for Colorado State. I told you guys that she told me I'm not supposed to call you guys, because it's offensive. Are you offended? I'm sorry. So now I'm going to call all of you gals. See, that is pretty sexist if you think about it, because now all the guys are thinking, oh my God, you can't call me a gal. But we expect women to be comfortable with being called a guy. One of the guys. No. Y'all. You know how that works. So I've switched to gang, but I can never remember. You like gang better? You're all in a gang now instead of being a bunch of guys. So everybody's offended then. Ah, good. Yeah. All right. It's sort of like the Starbucks thing with the red cups.
Satan cup.
It's a Satan cup now? Yeah, I saw one. My brother-in-law has fun with this kind of stuff. He's on Facebook all the time. He's a hilarious guy. Anyway, he sends a white cup, and he's offended by the white cup. He lives in Spokane, or rather in Yakima, Washington, but in the snow country, right? And it started snowing there, and it's really cold, really cold. You've seen the weather on the West Coast, it's a mess, or the whole middle of the country is a mess, really cold. And Yellowstone was 18 degrees or something. Yeah, it's coming. But anyway, I guess we're getting down in the 30s, aren't we? Yeah. So anyway, it's this white cup, and it's got this print on it, and it says that you should boycott this cup because it's white, and it reminds me of snow, and I hate snow. Yeah, so boycott white Dixie cups now, not just red ones. So, like we didn't have anything to worry about in the world. Yeah. Whether there's a Christmas tree, actually a Christmas tree is offensive to religion too, isn't it? Some people think so. You can't put a Christmas tree on it either, so I don't know what they can put on it. Keep their cups white. Anyway.
Everything's offensive nowadays.
Say happy holidays. That's offensive because you're leaving out Christ, so I guess. Anyway, happy Hanukkah is offensive. Everything.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy whatever you celebrate.
And whatever you celebrate is offensive to the whole rest of the world? Yeah, man, I hope not. So.
Say that.
These companies' equity structure is as follows. Okay, there we go. They got common stock, $2 par, $12 market value. That's nice. 1 million shares authorized, 750,000 issued, 50,000 shares of treasury stock. So how many shares are outstanding, guys? 700, of course. Okay, they're doing a 35% stock dividend. Who are you going to give the stock dividend to? Yourself or other people? Other people. So it's only going to be on the outstanding, right, guys? You're not going to give it to your company.
How many outstanding?
700,000. 750 issued. You got treasury, you bought back.
Oh, okay.
So the difference is 700, right?
Yeah.
What about the 300,000 or 250,000 that have never been issued? So what? I'm not going to give myself a dividend on those either, am I?
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't make any sense. And I'm not going to give myself a dividend on the treasury. It's 35. Percent. Okay, if it's 35%, large or small? Anything over what it's supposed to be large? 25%? Yeah, I think it's large if it's over 5 or something, but personally. But anyway, I made it real clear on this one, it was what? Large. So A is a large stock dividend, right? And the deal with that is, if it's large, we think the market price is going to go down as a result of it. So we issue it at what? At there, what? Recorded at its par value, okay? So A is a large one because it's 35%. B is a small one because it's only 3%, right guys? Less than 20. And I'll make them way apart like this, okay? So it's clear which one's large, which one's small. Okay? This one's only 3%. Now here I think the market price may not come down, or at least not as much. So I think I am giving them something of value, which would be what? The market value. So this I'm going to record at par, if it's large. This I'm going to record at market value, if it's small. Everybody got it? And the rationale is whether the stock price will really adjust very much or not. Okay? I think it will adjust either way, really, proportionally, probably. Okay, but anyway, this is how we do it. And I am, instead of giving people a cash dividend, I'm giving a stock dividend. What do you debit for a cash dividend? Cash dividends, which you would close to, what do you close? It's a temporary equity account. What do you close it to? Retained earnings. Yes, you could just debit retained earnings if you want, or you could debit stock dividend. This isn't a cash dividend, it's a stock dividend. And you could call it a common stock dividend if you want. Got the idea? Okay? But you're still going to close it to retained earnings. It's a temporary equity account. Okay? What are we going to debit here? Same thing. So that's not bad. Okay, what are we going to credit? I am issuing what? Common stock. It's as though I had sold the stock and then gave them the cash. Make sense? Sold the stock to somebody and then took it, paid a dividend with it, with cash. So there's no cash here, but we sort of handled it the same way as that we had sold it, issuing the stock, and then paid a dividend, got, and reduced our retained earnings. So we merge them together, and we debit retained earnings, or stock dividend, which will close the retained earnings, and we credit common stock, right? And we're going to do it at par, so there's no additional paid capital, huh? Because I'm issuing the stock. I am issuing 35% more shares than are now outstanding. I'm actually issuing the stock, so I have more common stock. Okay, I'm going to record it at par. Now, these down here, whatever shares we do in the 3% dividend, it's also going to be recorded at par, isn't it? But because I record the retained earnings at market value, common stock goes at par, what about the difference between them? What am I going to call that, of course? The amount that the stock was issued for in excess of par is called paid in capital in excess of par, right? Just like I issued it for cash. Pretend you did, okay? Additional paid in capital common stock. Oh, so again, it's like you sold the stock for cash, then you took the cash and gave a dividend. The way you're thinking about it, okay? Everybody getting there? So now all we got to know is the number of shares and the par value of those shares, right? So how many shares is it going to be? How many are outstanding, everybody? 700,000. Everybody sees why it's 700, right? We authorized 1 million. We have issued 750, but we bought back 50, so there's 700 out there, right? 700,000 outstanding, right? Not dollars, shares. Apologize. Okay, 700,000 shares outstanding. Times what's the par? $2.
Yeah.
So what's the total par of that? 1,400,000, right? Journal entry game? Well, we need to know how many shares it is, right? Oh, I did. Oops. That's how much par we have now, 1,000,004. First, I need to know how many shares I'm issuing. That is what's in the account. I apologize. What percent are we issuing? 35% of that. There we go. How many shares is that? I need the shares first. How much is that? 700,000 times 35%. 1,000,004 is what would be in the common stock account now. How many is it?
245,000.
245,000. Okay, and those are at what value par? $2. Okay, so there's where we'll take it times $2. So how much is our total dividend? 590,000. Okay. Oh, 490. What math skills I've got? I guess 245 twice is 490. Debit what? Retained earnings. There we go. And credit what? Common stock. Because it's par value, right? Everybody good?
Now, is this like devalue will make the stock worth less because you're adding even more?
Yeah. What's going to happen is now there are so many more shares out there. So there are 700,000 outstanding. Now there's 945,000 outstanding. What do you think is going to happen? They have the same assets and the same liabilities in the company. So therefore the same equity in terms of wealth, right? Real wealth. What's going to happen? They're all going to go down in value. Proportionally, everything. That makes sense? By the way, why would you want one of these dividends?
Well, like screwing the other people that have stock?
Well, it's going to people who already have the stock, though.
Oh, this is just not the one person, it's like everyone.
Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
was
so,
like-
so if I own
like you're paying
1,000
someone
shares, I'm going to get 350, right?
Okay.
That's what's
Oh,
happening.
you like paying someone a stock, because they talk about in the book how like companies sometimes pay like,
You can.
okay,
Yeah, but this is, they're giving me a dividend,
okay.
but are they really giving them a dividend? Well, there's no real value in it probably if it's a large one like this. But what happens is sometimes companies, they'll have a policy of every quarter they pay a 50-cent dividend, right? So every year you get $2 of dividend for, 4 times 50, right? Quarterly ones. For every share you got, you get $2 a dividend. Well, what happens if they give you more shares and they keep giving the 50-cent dividend? You get more dividend, I guess, in the future. That's one motivation, right?
Okay.
So really what it is they don't have any cash to pay dividends. They'd like to give dividends, so they give them stock instead. Are they really giving you anything? Not if it's a large one. Not really. You still have the same proportionate share of the company, right?
So if
Your wealth has not changed by virtue of getting that.
So if companies start doing that, is that like a bad sign? Like,
No, it's just they decided to do it. It doesn't matter. They can do whatever they want.
They just want to keep the people, basically, so they give them something.
Yeah. Well, the people are themselves to some extent, right? Common shareholders own the company and you decide to take some out. By the way, when you pay a cash dividend out, you reduce the value of your stock too. Right? Would you agree with that? I've got a whole bunch of cash sitting in the business. It's mine. I'm a shareholder. I give it to myself. What's the deal? Now I have the cash. I don't have the investment anymore, right? You decide to give yourself back some of your investment. Okay, let's get this other one done. We'll take a break. Okay, what do you think, guys? How many shares this time? It's 700,000 outstanding, right? I'll try not to screw it up this time. Are outstanding? What percent? 3%. This isn't going to be very many shares, is it? How much is that? 21,000. So this time it's a 21,000 share dividend times the par, though, times the market value. What's that? Market value is 12, isn't it? Okay, so how much is 21 times 12? 252,000.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm going to debit retained earnings for its market value. Got the idea? The market value. Okay? Up here it was the par value. Everybody good? Large par, small market. Okay, so 252,000 is the debit to retained earnings or stock dividends. Credit common stock for how much? The par. 21,000 shares times what? $2. Yeah, it's 42,000. Got it. So that's 42,000 par value. Common stock. And what's the rest going to be, of course? Additional paid-in capital. We got it. 210,000. $10 a share, right? 12 market value, less than $2 par. $10 a share on 21,000 shares is 210. Boom. We got it. Easy? Getting easier? You smiled once today. That's pretty good. I like that. Oh, there's twice. Okay, good. All right. You frown at all your professors, not just me. Good. All right. Nothing personal. I'd frown too, but I'm up here being entertaining. I'd rather be somewhere else too, with you guys.
Yeah.
How many would rather be here than any place else on earth? Yeah, no, but that doesn't mean work is miserable, right? Work is still fun. It's not as much fun as other stuff. It's still fun. Paychecks are fun. They're fun. Eating is kind of fun.
Eating's all good.
Yeah, I think it is. Well, I think it is too. Way too often. I can afford 2 good restaurants. That's not